Yeah, what an eventful morning. As I said, it was give you the conditions. We got up before daylight and I got up here and spotted deer straight away. Seen a mature animal, um, quite a big animal, but it cast. So after doing that, I just mooched my way up further up the top and into this gully. So just the wallow just over here at the moment where I'm fortunate enough to find a cast antler. Not a very good one, as I said. It's that side. It's not a real unusual shape. Probably going to be a non-typical stag when he matures, if he gets that. Anyhow, what I want to talk about is here I am with my camouflaged 3D pattern suit, which I put that there this morning. I was filming with that. I was fortunate to get real close to a hind, and which I'll incorporate into this video. And not far from here, and probably about 200 yards, I photographed a beautiful big stag a few years ago. So they come in. I'm virtually on the top of the ridge now, where I am now, and there's game trails going in here. If I was early in the morning, I'd minimise my movement as much as possible, because this is where the deer go around here. They contour to this wallow. Actually, I haven't seen stags at this wallow over the years, but further around I have. But anyhow, like what I like to say, as I said, I've been hunting for over now 35 years. And I suppose you could say experience helps you with your hunting, because it takes time to learn about the sambar and how they move and how they operate, when to hunt. I've got a good friend of mine, an exceptional hunter. We're getting at the pointy end of life, and he's just written a book, and I read it thoroughly. And I'm not that an avid reader of books, but if anyone wants to learn about stalking deer, it's worthwhile read. I'll try and put some contact numbers to how to get hold of it. It's not for money or anything like that. It's just as Carl wants to give a bit of his own. His name is Carl Pageant, and we are virtually we've met a couple of years ago, and we phone up a lot, and we talk about hunting. We're a little bit, as individuals, we think very similar in our method of hunting, and a lot of his theories and my theories are very similar about the deer, and it's quite interesting. And we have maybe different terminology. He might use rut, I use activity, because, as I say, I look at the rut as being more a periodic time of, like red deer and fallow, when you know when it's going to happen. With sambar, it's a little bit different. It's more about the age of the deer, the stag, and what's happened with the hinds. It's all, it's not periodic. It's not, you can't time it. As I said, someone told me they took a stag the other week. It was a big stag. It was in velvet. Then, all right, that you can see that one's a few years old. That cast antler there, but that stag may be better. Maybe a 4 or 5 year old stag now. The matured stag I seen this morning was quite a big animal. I'd say hopefully we'll catch up with him next year, and I think he'll have a pretty good head. He's probably about maybe 7 looking at him, and anyhow, I guess actually, as I say, it's beautiful now. The wind's coming up, the thermals are coming up. I like a bit of height on the deer, and that's the way you do. If you're hunting below the deer, it can give you away. Noise, as I said, I did a little caption of camouflage. What the big giveaway with hunting is movement and scent. So if you can minimise those by getting to a spot, like this morning I was sitting there and I was just watching, and I knew the deer contour around to that particular spot, And I'm sitting there and I happened to look down and I see a hind feeding. And then I thought I had a bit of fun and games with her, so I stalked in close as I could. I was actually hoping, I tried to call her in a little bit closer and see if I could get her even closer, but how close do you need to get to deer? And she honked her head off because she had a young one with her and did a bit of filming. And only half an hour ago I was watching 4 or 5 deer, no stags. That's how it goes. The stags will be there, but what happens with the stags this time of the day, they bed up and hide in the thickest stuff. So you don't look for, this time of the day, you're looking for deer that are bedded up, not so much walking around. Early in the morning, you'll catch them going to bed up, and in the evening, you catch them coming out from their beds. As I said, minimise your movement and you'll be more successful. Don't have to be a rush with deer, because deer aren't in a rush. As you see, most times they're buried in bushes. As I said, the use of binos can get you in, can identify what you want to film or photograph or what you want to hunt. As I say, that's a accessory to have. It's good binoculars. Okay, and what I'll do, incorporate some what hunting was like in the 1990s, which was different era. It was different hunting then. To say less deer, but less hunters. You could go into an area you could go into an area and then come back in a month's time and your stuff wouldn't be touched. Not like today's. Very, very popular hunting now, and as I say, we find this time of year it's even good, but plenty of snakes about, so just be careful. As I said, the copperheads and brownies are almost like the same colour as this soil, so you need one eye on the ground and one eye ahead of you, so just always think of that. All right, have a good one and good hunting.